Hey, how's everybody doing today? So I wanted to talk about two things. One, metaphysics in general, and two, touching base more on manifestation again. But I'm going to lead into the manifestation with what I'm going to talk about with metaphysics and New Age and the stigma behind New Age. So in metaphysics and spirituality and New Age information, a lot of people are getting kind of tired of it. They're having a little bit of a fatigue, so to speak, on the New Age stuff, because what happens when people learn certain things in spirituality, they'll focus on one thing, and if they're not doing it, they automatically think that it doesn't work. And a lot of gurus and stuff will preach certain things about positivity and how you manifest and this and that, like generally what we all talk about. But there's a procedure and a way to go about it for you to like line yourself up in order for that alignment to happen. And if it's not going right for you, you're automatically going to assume that it doesn't work, and that's completely understandable. And the New Age fatigue comes into play when, you know, a lot of times when New Age teachers are selling something and they'll package a deal, and then you'll just work on that one specific package, and it's not working for you. And there might be a reason why, because they've compiled it into this little box and sold it to you, and you think you're going to open this present up for Christmas, and what you get out of the box is going to just like change your entire life. But the thing about spirituality is, what you really got to understand is it incorporates every single thing and aspect of your existence and your life, from the time you're born all the way up until the time you pass away, and everything in between is a spiritual experience. Remember, we're infinite spiritual beings, divine beings having a temporary human experience. Everything we're doing is about spirituality, the grounding, the meditation, the auras, the chakras, the astrology, the breath work, the telepathy. All of it is all one thing. You know, this holographic universe, we call it a holographic universe because it seems like a simulation. That's what it's comprised of. When your divine soul is actually woken up to where you realize what you actually are as a creator, you realize that this whole thing was your doing, pretty much. And there's some outside influences as well, and why it happened, and this and that, but you actually are more in control than you realize. You just kind of have to wake up to it. So when it comes to the New Age, you know, the same old humdrum New Age information that you're getting this fatigue and tiresome, is like, oh, this stuff doesn't work. Or you keep preaching positivity, but it's not helping me in my life. Because you have to like incorporate everything in there, and there's going to be bad things that are happening to you. It's kind of like tests, because your emotional attachment to whatever it is that you're feeling will have the effect on what you're creating. You manifest everything. Everything you've done, you've manifested one way or another. So your emotional attachment to certain subjects and objects and people and things and situations will manipulate those manifestations. But what you got to understand about manifestation is, whatever your experience is, like once you wake up with a spiritual awakening, or wake up to the reality that you kind of have control of this, or you think of things and they become real, once that happens, you now know that you can manifest, because your thoughts become reality, right? So why do you doubt that you can't manifest certain things? If you're starting to create things by impressing the subconscious or thinking things, why don't you believe that you can create other things? Doesn't make sense. There's no program that says, oh, you can do this, but you can't do that, because you've seen other people do it. Now, when it comes to manifestation, remember what I said in my previous video on the harvest moon, when I was talking about manifestation. Your manifestation does not care if you're positive or negative. It doesn't know the difference. What you think becomes your reality. So whatever vibration that is, you're still manifesting. Now, you may not necessarily have full mastery control of it, but what you are thinking is coming to fruition. That's why even like when you're negative situations will happen, because you're like worried and have anxiety about something bad happening, so thus you're manifesting it. Just like if you're a positive about manifesting something or optimistic, it'll still come to you. You're constantly creating. That's the power that you've got to draw in from being a creator. So manifestation does not care where your current vibrational alignment is at. Your spiritual journey cares because you're trying to raise your vibration. But manifestation does not require anything except for confidence about thinking about that, and then it comes to pass, basically. So one of the tricks is take a sheet of paper, a couple sheets of paper, even a notebook. Start writing down things that you're going to manifest, and it's like simple things. It could be big and it could be small. Write a combination of both, but write a lot. For instance, say, I manifested I see a purple tree. Like you drive past a purple tree one day, something like really oddballish like that, or an eagle lands on top of my car and stares at me, like weird random stuff. Just write a bunch of different things down. Like I go into a store and the store gives me a free Gucci purse for just being the 100th customer of the 100th customer appreciation day. Here's a free Gucci purse. It can mean anything you can think of. Write it down. Right at the top is I manifest, and then start listing out everything that you're manifesting. So just like random stuff, and then when you see it happen in reality, you manifested it because you wrote it down. And some of it's like really outlandish. It wouldn't be very often where you see an eagle land on top of your car and then sit there and stare at you while you're outside your car. It's a very odd situation that most people probably don't encounter, right? But let's say you did that, and like, wow, the eagle landed on my car and he's staring at me. Exactly how I wrote it. Stuff like that will happen when you have sure, undeniable confidence that you are creating a reality. So write down on that notebook journal the stuff that you're manifesting, and I guarantee you go back and look at it a couple months later, and you'll be surprised how many things you manifested already, and some of the things that haven't happened yet because maybe they were like bigger manifestations, like $1 million in your bank account or something like that. But all these things, small, large, random, very like weird, not weird. Because normally you would pass it off as coincidence. Oh, I saw that. That's a strange coincidence. Maybe that's deja vu. No, you manifested it. You just didn't know it because you didn't remember it. You didn't journal it. Because what the journal is going to do is undeniable proof that you did manifest it. Because you go back and say, oh, I did write that down. Instead of like, oh, did I think of that before? It's much easier to have the proof on paper instead of like trying to like do recall in your mind, because then you'll just brush it off as coincidence. 90% of what we manifest brushes off as coincidence. That's why everyone talks about, oh, that's a coincidence. People say it all the time, and it's like, no, it's a manifestation, not a coincidence. Once you learn that you're manifesting and not having coincidences, you realize how much you are creating. That's all I wanted to talk about today. If you have any questions, write in the comments below. And as always, I greatly appreciate it, and you guys have a nice day.